Yes.
Okay. Do you like your Dutch Bros?
Yeah, bro. Dude, the vibes at Dutch Bros.
Did they just open?
No. That's been there for a minute.
What does that mean?
The vibes?
Dude,
What do the
you
vibes mean?
have you been?
Nah.
Well, it's always packed.
No, I know it's packed. That's why I've never gone. So.
Well, because when I was done favoring, I went and like they were like blaring Drake and like music. And like the guys were out there like dancing, so like there's such a long line, so they have a guy that like runs the drinks out to you if it's taking too long.
Oh, it's like Chick-fil-A or
Kinda,
Whataburger or some shit.
Well,
Yeah.
it's as packed as Chick-fil-A sometimes, even more.
I went to the Brookshire Brothers today. That they just.
Oh,
really?
Is that one nice?
That's nice for you because
nice, dude. It's right next to my place.
It's right next to your house. Yeah, that's gonna be your closest
Karen
one.
said that it's cheaper than HEB.
I don't know about that. I went in there.
You did?
Yeah, it's like.
I didn't
It's
buy
like the
anything.
same.
I just was.
They
wasn't
had
doing
that
shit.
bar
So
next
I don't know
too.
if I'll ever be able to like to go against HEB. Like I think HEB is now like my forever grocery
That's
store.
true.
If anybody watching online, HEB is a South Texas grocery store, and it's elite. It is definitely
it's a
like
go-to.
it's definitely the best one around here.
They're
for sure.
finally coming to Dallas.
Yeah, they are finally coming to Dallas. 2 new stores in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting one in Frisco area, I think.
Yeah.
Not in the areas that we want them to be, but no, HEB cheap prices. They have good, like, my favorite thing about them is that all of their food that's their brand is really good, and it's cheapest.
Quality,
it's the cheapest out of any of the brands. Like, you don't need to buy the name brand stuff when you go there because HEB stuff is so good.
Yeah, like they have those pre-made meals too.
Yeah,
Dude, I live off of that.
You get
I get
sushi. You
Yeah,
get
the
sushi a
sushi
lot.
there is good too. I
grocery
like the
store
there.
sushi gets hated on. It's not terrible.
No, it's not.
It's
bad.
not terrible.
Like,
Like
Albert's-
I've had some restaurant sushi that's worse than grocery
Really?
store sushi. Yeah, 100%.
No, I can see that.
Like any of the higher end grocery stores, I would say HEB is not really a higher end grocery store, but like theirs isn't bad. Market Streets is better than some restaurants for sure.
I mean, it's not like those grocery stores have enough money; they can just get quality stuff too.
Yeah,
it's not hard to mess up.
And they
sushi.
make it like daily, so it's not terrible. It's obviously like not the best I've ever had, but
yeah. All right, should we roll the intro?
yeah, let's roll the intro music. We finally got intro music. So
Oh no, these things they come and they go. I spend my
Y'all might as well get the music ready because it's finna take a while.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Mission and
the
let's
things I suppose.
There it is, a win for the ages. Lillard, long range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
All right, welcome back to the second episode of the Foers podcast. My name is Preston, your host, and I am back again with Alex and Adam.
What's up?
We have a good show for y'all today. We got some good topics we're going to talk about, getting into some juicy drama, some stuff that we're gonna talk about. So we're excited. How you
yeah,
guys feel?
hopefully, I think the first episode went well. It was a little too long.
Yeah.
But that was a great voice crack.
Damn,
too.
dude, I told you to get all the voice cracks out
hate
before we
that,
started
bro.
filming.
The first episode, I think, went well. Like, we did a good job talking. It was too long, and then I wasn't really focused on saying like or and I felt like I said that a lot. So
we got some room
this
for
episode,
improvement.
yes, we have room for improvement, but it actually was well received. Like, I got people swiping up on my story when I posted it that I wouldn't have thought like would watch it, and they did. And I really
Shout out to
appreciated
those
that.
people.
So
Shout
yeah,
out
thank
to
you
the
for
people
y'all.
that have already
Also,
watched
shout
it.
out the intro music is by one of my high school friends. Go look him up on Spotify. His name is Simon Hill on Spotify. All of his past projects,
Song's
I really enjoyed. That was the one we put as our intro song. That was my personal favorite of his. I thought it was really good, kind of like trap vibes, like trap music style. I would say like it was like lo-fi mixed with like trap, Travis Scott kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. If you guys want to check him out, go hit him up on Spotify. Simon Hill on Instagram too. So appreciate you letting us use your music for the intro.
Sir. All right, let's get into our first topic. So recently, Jeff Wittek has released a 3-part, or so far he's released 3 parts of this documentary explaining about how he almost died basically. And it's like, it's pretty crazy that like he kept this to himself this entire time, and like he was getting so much hate and so much like backlash because of the stuff that happened with David before, and like Jeff had never told this story before, but now that we're seeing what actually went down, and now seeing that Jeff didn't talk about any of it this entire time was pretty crazy.
Yeah. So to give like context, if no one knows about like what happened, David Dobrik, probably one of the biggest internet stars ever so far in the history of the internet, I would say, especially like with the style of content that he does, he's definitely at the forefront.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of the biggest.
He was trying to make
social media guys.
He was trying to make a comeback to his vlog, and he was like, "We need to do all these crazy stunts and everything." And Jeff, one of the people in his vlogs, was jumping out of a plane and stuff. Like they were doing crazy stunts for this.
Yeah, that stuff was like, I thought that's how he got hurt, or watching the
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I was
thinking,
expecting too.
Yeah,
like
I was
he
expecting him
ran
to-
into something, skydiving or something, but like that wasn't even connected to it at all.
And it's
just
funny
crazy.
because that's the thing that's the activity he thought he was going to die from. Instead, it was just completely different.
Yeah.
Which
Then-
what he was doing and he actually got hurt was insane.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
it was like more dangerous
Yeah.
for what he was doing.
yeah.
The situation way more dangerous too.
So basically, David was in an excavator, like one of those big machines that I guess they're
tractor
used.
It's like construction.
It's construction type of machine, and it was in the water, I guess. And they were swinging around people in the water off of this excavator, like
they were
really
hanging on a
fast,
rope.
and they were hanging on a rope. And physics tells you, like the laws of physics tell you that when you're going really fucking fast in a circle, like you either have to bring it really slowly, like back down. But David or whoever was, I guess David was operating.
If you
right?
were David though,
and
you see how like fast he got all of a sudden, and like I mean,
probably
I don't
panicked
blame
or
him for like
something,
stopping so suddenly, because that's like
but he
everyone's
wasn't
like,
thinking.
holy crap! Like I mean,
Yeah.
you can't think in those situations, so like I don't blame him for
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
like
No, he was going way too fast, and when
even
he
the
got
idea
going too
of
fast,
like putting them up on that thing is just crazy,
Yeah.
because they put Corinna Cobb up on there first, and like she almost fell, and she didn't even go as nearly as fast,
no,
and she got pissed at
Yeah.
David. And was like, and then Jeff was like, "Oh, I want to like let's make a good video."
yeah,
And then like he just starts flying out like 60 miles an hour
Yeah.
on this hanging by a rope.
and then he
it-
just
yeah.
immediately stopped it, and it caused Jeff to like slam
yeah.
into the side of the excavator, and it like tore half his face off. I
And
mean,
he said he,
it just looked so gruesome.
He said he fractured his foot
Uh-huh.
and he like dislocated his like hip or something, like crazy.
He was inches away from
that,
like,
they
hitting
said
his
yes.
said that he-
part of his
said-
face where it would have killed
They
him.
said.
Not even
They said a
inches, I don't think.
couple centimeters to the
Yeah.
left, he loses his eye, and a
Yeah.
couple centimeters to the right, or flip flop those,
He
or
dies.
whatever.
Yeah,
he
he
dies.
does,
So
yeah.
he just got hit in the perfect spot to where he didn't lose his vision and he didn't die.
That's
so
crazy,
that
dude.
prayers up for him.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Jeff. I thought the barbershop show was
He's cool. yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Good like idea for a YouTube show. But what are the limits for YouTube content now? Like is
think-
David? I guess I saw an opinion that basically said like, what the fuck, David Dobrik? Like if Jeff wasn't your friend, like if he wanted to sue you for millions of dollars, that's like he could sue you for $1 million.
I feel
He
like
could
a lot
end
of
your
them
career.
could have sued David by now, because
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he in that documentary he talked about how David literally listed out stunts that he was wanting them to do in the videos, and they all agreed.
Yeah.
So like, part of me is like, these are kind of crazy, but at the same time, like they're all willing to do it. It's not like David's like forcing them, from what I understand.
I mean, obviously, Jeff didn't come out and sue him. Like, I don't think that there's gonna be like a bombshell lawsuit dropped at the end of this. At
There
the end
already
of this
would have been
documentary.
by
Yeah,
now.
there already would have been. So I think Jeff's attitude, and most of the people that are in the vlog squad are like, "Oh, dude, your mic is backwards, by the way." But
Yeah, just rotate it.
Yeah,
I
just
can
rotate
hear you.
it.
Just spin it, yeah.
But like, I think that basically all the people in the vlog squad they don't really care. They know what their limits are. They know that they're willing to. Yours is backwards too. They know that they're willing to participate in the vlog, and they get that some of these things can be dangerous, but they're willing to do it. And so they push themselves to limits. And I think that the way Jeff is we don't know how he's handled it because we haven't seen the full
I mean,
it seems like it's fucked him up.
Yeah.
A good amount.
From what I've seen, it looked like he was struggling because like in the documentary he said, or it showed that like he was basically like sitting there during COVID, like the pandemic, and like seeing David be so successful, get his new house, get all these other things, while Jeff is like knowing this entire time that this happened. And David didn't talk to Jeff for a month after that.
That's what I was.
Which is crazy.
Odd, but I feel like the sentiment of it is see, like, and I, my bias is that I am a David Dobrik fan, so I think he is a genuine person, and that he really does mean well. So, like, for instance, I don't know. I think next episode he did preview like David sitting down with Jeff and like having a conversation about it, and I really feel in my heart that conversation is gonna show the world like, okay, David is genuine, and I think that he's gonna legit care about what happened to Jeff, and that now he's gonna take it more seriously going forward, like the repercussions of his actions. I mean, he's only 22, 23, right?
But like the thing of
being
like
20 years old, people make mistakes. And they should be allowed to be forgiven for those mistakes.
Yeah, but I think that like no matter how, like if Jeff was really your friend, dude, that's just hard for me to understand that you can like that can happen to him.
Yeah.
And he like sees Jeff in the hospital, and then once he's out of the hospital and like on his own, Jeff or David just doesn't talk to him for a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand that David's like a busy guy, whatever. But like I could never do that to somebody that happened, and that's like really it made me upset because I'm like, I really like David too. Like I'm a fan, but like seeing him do that like really disappointed me. Yeah. Because I'm like, bro, like, if any of them did that to David, they would be on their hands and knees, like making sure he has everything he needs. Granted, we don't know the backstory about everything that happened. We don't know how much they talked or texted or whatever.
Exactly.
But the way that they showed it on the documentary, Jeff was really hurt by it, and he was struggling, and Jeff didn't know what to do, and then on top of that, they got the heat from whatever the drama that happened after that.
Oh yeah, David is definitely in deep shit right now.
Yeah, with this going on now,
It's
and then
just
the stuff with Dom. I mean, how long do you think it'll take for him to start making videos again if he does it all? He's in
I don't
deep
know,
shit
especially
right now.
after this documentary where like people didn't even know about this, and this happened months ago. So like, David's gonna have to come out and talk about this. Hopefully in the documentary, the next episode, like it'll explain it more, and David hopefully won't have to like do a lot. But it's like that just really disappointed me that he didn't even reach out. Like he was there in the hospital and paid for all the medical bills and stuff, but like I don't think that's what Jeff wanted. Like if he paid for the medical bills, okay, cool. But like he wanted him to be there and be his friend and like take care of him, make sure he's doing okay mentally too.
Yeah.
Because that messes you up.
Yeah.
Like because Jeff's whole brand was like his
looks, like
sex drive or whatever. Like he's ripped and he's attractive and all this stuff. And now he's doing all this stuff happened to him and he can't talk about it. I mean, he could have, but he chose not to.
Yeah, people thought it was like a gag or something.
Yeah.
They didn't even think it was. Yeah, because he had to gain weight. He had to gain weight for the surgery.
Yeah. I think also what will be a determining factor for going forward with how people perceive David is if Jeff ultimately forgives David in this next video, or if over time we see Jeff like become close friends with David, or
I think
it's going to if Jeff forgives David, then I think the public will. But if Jeff, for instance, is like, you know what, like I don't know if I can forgive David.
No,
for what
I
he
see.
did,
So
then the
I
public
saw
is going to react.
So
too.
Keemstar, I don't like watching him because he just does nothing but good on the internet, whatever.
Drama,
but like he showed on his Snapchat show that I've seen it a couple times that he texted Jeff about it, and Jeff was like, "Yo, we're good. Like it'll show in this next episode that me and David are like actually like okay."
Oh, okay.
But like that still doesn't discount like what happened before. So it's like they're probably fine now because it's like been so long. They could probably see each other more, like because I mean there was also a pandemic, so that might have caused it too. But like, yeah, it kind of just disappointed me because, I mean, David does go too far a little sometimes. Obviously, we've seen it.
And I think now he's gonna definitely adjust.
He's gonna have to adjust and realize that my friend's safety and their lives are more important than a YouTube video that's gonna be like just going to help me, because I don't think David needs to have a huge bring back video.
I don't think it's necessary
that's going to
for
put
him
somebody's life in danger.
For him to do all this outrageous shit. Like, he was successful just vlogging his everyday life. Like, that got millions of views. That's how he started out. That's how he grew his channel, just vlogging his life. So he doesn't really have to do all this crazy stuff to keep his channel popular, you know?
I think also, you know, what's interesting about David is he didn't get popular from himself, really. He kind of got popular from putting moments of his friends together.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest,
no,
right?
That's true.
He's not really the star of his own show. He's the director of
he basically just
show,
pays for his friends to do everything.
No, he doesn't pay them. That's the thing.
No, not them individually, but like he pays for like the people that show up, or like the things they get to do, whatever.
But what's interesting
is
he
gets to pay for it, and then all of a sudden he gets to record it, and he gets to gain from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this sounds messed up, but like they're probably all famous because of David, most of them.
Oh, 100%.
No,
I think they benefited off of it in other ways that we can't necessarily see.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. He doesn't pay them. I think he's just like, okay, if you be on my channel, like, you're gonna get popularity, which is payment in itself, right? I see David in the future. Like, David's personality is late night host. You know,
I could definitely
said that before
he gives me
too,
Jimmy Fallon vibes, and I think he would be great at that. But he needs to stop fucking up if he wants to actually do that.
I don't think he'll continue the vlogs.
No,
honestly.
I don't either. I honestly think he's done.
It'll be a while.
He's moving on to new media.
Yeah,
that's what
agree.
I would think.
Which is unfortunate, because I really enjoyed like his videos and stuff. But like I think it's just he's just gonna have to move on, maybe.
Yep.
So that was interesting. I think that documentary really like gave a lot of respect to Jeff, because you never know what's going on in somebody's life, man. Like, I can imagine that happening, because then first of all, like, you almost die, and then second of all, you can't talk about it, and then you're in the public eye.
Just didn't want to, right? He was just in the public eye.
I think he was embarrassed.
About it. Yeah.
But it's like he had, like, in the documentary, he talked about how he had multiple guests on his barbershop videos, but he had to just act like it was makeup or whatever, and somebody, like, he fractured his foot in the accident too. And like somebody in the barbershop episode was like driving around and like ran into him, and he's like, that actually hurt, but I can't show it because people don't know that I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that just like makes you really sad, and like respect Jeff a lot, because that's terrible, man.
That's why, you know, it's a good example of like never knowing what people are actually going through.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're quick to judge like, oh, people were seeing that he was gaining a little weight. Jeff is still skinny, how it was, right? Or whatever. He's ripped, but he was gaining a little weight. He said he couldn't work out. Like, people were calling him fat in the comments, and it's just like, you really don't know what he was
people
going
like
through.
that just have no life, really.
Yeah. Like, nobody really knew what he was going through.
Jeff
and now
gaining a little weight
like,
he still looks better than a lot of people. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I know it would be so hard to take like those comments and just throw them out the window, but I guess that's what you have to do, you know, when you're in the public eye like that.
That's tough, man.
But
respect to Jeff, but like that's just something that's really hard.
Yeah.
I respect Jeff a lot more. I already liked him before, but like he's one of my favorite celebrities or YouTubers right now.
Yeah. Moving on to the NBA.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about
this
a little
too.
bit about the NBA. We're nearing 3 weeks till the end of the season. It's going to be done in about 3 weeks. We're looking for playoff pushes. We're looking for this, you know, this new playoff tournament that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, but also at the same time, being a Mavs fan, it's going to hurt to see if they actually...
the Mavs are 6 right now.
6 seed now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
I think they're 1 game ahead
of
the
the
Mavs
Blazers.
are now the 6 seeds, so they're not going to be
They're
in the
like
tournament.
1 or 1.5 games back behind the Lakers right now, because they beat the Lakers twice.
Yeah.
So they are like a game or 2 behind.
They definitely have to focus on like finishing strong. And,
But like if the Mavs finish 6th, they're most likely going to play the Clippers.
That'll be tough.
And you know how I mean, I think it'll be a good series, but the Mavs got to be healthy, and KP's got to stay healthy. Most importantly,
KP has to give amazing performances every night for them to win.
Like I think if KP was healthy last year in the playoffs, Mavs had a chance.
That's
for sure.
the deciding factor for me is KP being healthy. I know that Adam kind of has his opinions on KP,
but
I mean, he got mixed feelings. I don't like him the best.
I think when he's healthy, and he puts up the numbers that he's capable of putting up. I just feel like sometimes he's soft and then he's injury prone and he plays half the season and then half of those games that he plays he doesn't perform very well.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he's definitely overpaid, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's overrated because I think that we know what he's capable of. We know he's capable of averaging 30 and 12.
That's why it's frustrating when he doesn't
he's capable
live
of
up to those
averaging 30 and 12.
expectations.
But
he doesn't ever do it.
It is frustrating seeing him get injured over and over when, honestly, it's not necessarily his fault that he's getting injured, but having a guy like that on your team is just a liability at this point because you're paying him millions of dollars and you're counting on him to show up day in and day out, and it's disappointing when he doesn't because honestly, in the long run, it's going to hurt our team.
Honestly, I would not be upset if they ended up trading him.
Who are you going to get for him, though?
It depends who
but
trade for, but
because they need somebody. I mean, you're not just gonna give up KP to get somebody worth it. Obviously, you're gonna have to give up picks, and you're gonna have to give up quality bench players that we have. Yeah. Get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'm fine with that
because I know Adam doesn't like him.
I've said that before too.
So KP, Tim Hardaway Jr. and like 2 draft picks. All right. Get somebody like maybe Bradley Beal. They might have to give up a little bit more, but I don't know if the Wizards probably will take that because what big do they have?
Maybe Zach LaVine too.
Exactly.
That's
Zach
LaVine,
some player like that, or even a stretch 3 is what we need.
Yeah,
honestly,
I
a
feel
center
like,
too.
I feel like, so Luka's a very on-ball player.
Yeah.
I either want a 3-and-D guy, but like one of the top 3-and-D guys. I'm talking like Chris Middleton type of player.
Yeah.
I don't think
it can't be a player that's like on the ball though. It can't be Zach LaVine.
I would be okay with him trading for a center.
It can't be Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal and Luka not going to play well together. It's going to be spot-up shooter and defense.
Clay would be perfect.
I think that's why.
Clay
would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But that's never going to happen.
Duncan Robinson is a free agent this summer too.
Yeah, he would be great if
That'd
the Mavs could go after
addition.
him.
I mean, I think he's a good shooter, but I mean, that's the only
but
thing
imagine
he has.
this though, Luka, he penetrates the paint a lot. Okay, teams have to either pick and choose if they want to collapse on Luka when he drives, or stick out on the shooters. If you have Duncan in the corner, Luka can either get a layup if they choose to stick on him. If they choose to collapse, just pitch it out to him.
I mean, we'd have to give him a free agency. I don't see a point with us trading KP.
No, we don't really.
Because we have
that's why
we
they
have
went after
JJ Redick, we
yeah.
have Tim Hardaway Jr., we have shooters. I think we have good shooters.
Yeah, we do have decent shooters.
Duncan Robinson's better than them.
My
but
only
like,
complaint with Tim
there's
Hardaway
no point in
is that he
trading
shoots the dumbest shots sometimes.
No, he does, dude.
But he has a but here's the thing: is I respect Rick Carlisle as a coach.
Yeah.
And Rick Carlisle obviously is giving him the green light. So if Rick Carlisle sees that, then to me it's like, okay, like I respect Rick Carlisle's decision because he wouldn't be shooting some of the shots he does if he didn't have that permission from Rick. I mean, some of these shots are just fucking. I mean, like only Luka should be shooting.
I said this when we were watching one of the games. I said I've never seen him make a one dribble pull up inside of the 3-point, not once, and he shoots probably 2 or 3 every game. And I have never seen him make one.
He has some games that he like will hit like those, and you're like, come on, man. But then like, all right. I mean, if he makes that, I mean,
he
whatever,
he hits big shots sometimes though.
Yeah, and I think also the thing that has hurt us this year. I can't speak right now. The thing that has hurt us this year the most, like the decision that is obviously coming back to bite us in the ass, is trading Seth Curry, for Josh Richardson.
For
Josh Richardson.
Yeah.
Josh Richardson is not living up to his capabilities. I thought he was going to be.
I liked the trade when it happened at the time, but
me too.
Yeah, you're right.
They should have gotten rid of Tim Hardaway.
Me too. Either you trade Tim Hardaway away, or Seth. Because Seth is doing good this year. I mean, and he's a way better shooter than Josh Richardson.
Yeah.
And Josh Richardson, honestly, his defensive rating this year
has not been as good as expected. Yeah.
As expected. So I was really disappointed. That's probably enough of the Mavs talk. I think that they're going to like.
They need another guy. They need that another.
They're not going to win the finals this year, but they're going to do decent in the playoffs. Hopefully.
Because I mean, let's be honest. They need to get somebody. Or when Luka's contract's up, why would he stay here?
I don't think Luka's going to stay at the way it's moving right now.
They're going to have to make a team or league changing trade that's going to give them a shot to win the finals every year.
Yeah.
Or Luka's probably going to leave, and that's going to be the worst scenario.
Luka to want to stay. I mean, Dallas isn't necessarily like the thing about Dallas is it's not LA, it's not New York, it's not Miami, it's not these places that people like, you know, it's not a really attractive city. What attracts people to Dallas is, I think, you know, ownership. Mark Cuban's a good owner,
my favorite
right?
owner in the NBA.
I think that ownership and the way the team is run, good coaching, and obviously what would attract people to Dallas is a winning culture. They do.
Yeah,
They aren't one of the teams that's always in the bottom. They're always competitive. So I think they do have a winning spirit, but they definitely need to make some changes if they want to win a finals. Because at this point, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And they have good chemistry too, which I've noticed, but that's not going to be enough.
No.
To make it far.
We can move on to
let's get into this MVP talk.
So this year, you know, we're nearing towards the end of the season, and I have it in my notes app, but 3 guys really stand out to me, obviously, and everybody else. Like, I think these are pretty much the 3 guys that are in contention this year for MVP. We have Jokic. I would put Jokic. My list right now would be Jokic at number 1. Then honestly, Steph has moved up to number 2 for me, and then Embiid. But Embiid and Steph are probably interchangeable for most people. But going down the list, just giving you the straight stats, and then we can go into like what we feel about how they've been playing and why they deserve MVP or whatever. But you know, Jokic is 10th right now in the league in points with 26 points per game. But he's top 10 in every single category in points, rebounds, and assists. So he averages 10.9 rebounds a game, and it says 8.7 assists. So 8.7 assists for a center, crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Almost averaging a triple-double, and the man is 7 foot tall. I think right now
he's a lock. I think he's a lock.
So Curry,
we can talk about it because
Curry's,
I have some things.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep going.
Curry's leading the league in points right now with 31.3 points per game. That's a fuck ton. I didn't even know that he was until I looked. Like, he's silently kind of, I mean, obviously he's getting all the attention by ESPN, but I feel like early on in the season he definitely wasn't getting the credit. Now I think he is, but he's leading his team to the playoffs. Like, they are making a big playoff push right now. Like, they have won a lot of games compared to at the beginning of the season.
I think they have to make the playoffs, though, in order for him to have a good chance to win.
100%.
That definitely
is also leading his team. He averages 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, only 3 assists, but he leads the league in player efficiency rating, I think, with 31.31. I think he leads the league in that category.
I think he's just been hurt too much. I don't think he.
Yeah.
What's their record? The Sixers' record
Sixers
without in the games that Embiid hasn't.
In
the games that Embiid hasn't played. Do you know their record for that?
No, they're not first. They're not first.
They're not first.
No, the Nets are first now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Embiid, if he wasn't hurt the whole season, I think you can make an argument for it.
Yeah, I think so
Dude
too.
was number 1
I think
ranking before he got hurt. Easily.
Yeah, he's missed 18 games this year, which sucks because, you know, the debate is kind of like, well, it's not really his fault that he got hurt. You know, it's not really the player's fault that they get injured.
Yeah, but that's the rule. That's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah,
you know.
No, it is. If Jokic plays all 82 games or however many games they're playing this season, if he plays all the games, he's looking like a lock to me.
I mean, I think Harden was a quality MVP candidate before he got hurt too.
Dude, I could talk for a fucking hour about the Nets. How I think that they literally, like, I don't even know if Harden and KD and Kyrie, if they just kind of choose when they want to play. I don't even know if
they're not going to play consistently together.
They're probably just waiting till the playoffs.
That's what I think too.
Because hamstring injuries are like severe, but like KD was out for like months.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
and I agree.
I don't know
Harden was looking like a lock,
but like,
there's never been an MVP in history that's traded teams in the middle of the year. You know. So
yeah, but you could tell Harden was going to leave the Rockets.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just that would also be like if he wasn't injured, I could see how people would want Harden to be MVP, but
that's why I think that Jokic, if he stays healthy, that he will win MVP because if they keep their spot at what they're like 3rd right now, so if Jamal Murray is out too, if they stay at number 3 with Jamal Murray being hurt and Jokic doesn't get hurt and plays the rest of the year and they still stay at number 3, he's got to win MVP. There's no reason why.
Turned off. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to fix camera, but I'll keep talking.
Yep.
Jokic hasn't missed a game this entire year. He's I mean, he's with Jamal Murray, but like this guy is he tore his ACL, right? So I think that Jokic has to be the MVP if he stays healthy. If he doesn't become healthy, I could see a really strong case for Steph Curry, because all of them have been injured. All top 3 candidates right now have been injured. Mm-hmm. But like, who is leading a team like Curry right now? Because look at Curry's team around him.
This last month too, especially this last month. Yeah, he's just been going nuclear.
Because Jokic still has Michael Porter Jr., who is he dropped opinion,
like 39 the other night.
He's a future All-Star.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, he's had Jamal Murray most of the year already, which is already a bonus, because Cruz Curry had Draymond Green, which he's solid, but like it's Draymond Green, like he's just an assist. Yeah. Curry's leading this team to a playoff contention by himself. So if Jokic stays healthy, I see him winning the MVP. But if he gets hurt and is out for a extended period of time, I could see a argument for Steph Curry.
I mean, with only 3 weeks left in the season, though.
He's got to be out for a while because there is a limited amount of time left. But I think if Jokic stays healthy, he's going to win.
I think so, and it'll be interesting to see how he leads the team without Jamal Murray too.
I mean, I don't think that they're going to go anywhere.
That's the biggest question.
I think they're out first round either way.
You do?
Yeah.
I disagree. Who
are they going to play right now?
Fan.
If the standings stay right now, who are they playing?
I think that Jokic is honestly underrated. Like at
so
this
they
point,
play the 7th seed if the standings stay right now.
Yeah, they're going to play whoever wins the tournament. I think, right?
So it could be. I mean, but they don't have Jamal Murray.
No, I mean, Campazzo or whatever. What's his name? Campazzo.
He's a bum, bro. He's literally
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He's a bum. He ain't gonna.
No, he's a bum. But I honestly don't think it really matters.
He has some pretty good highlights, though. He
reminds me of John Stockton. Right now, they play the Trailblazers, and I think they would beat the Trailblazers.
Yes, you can't.
If they play the Warriors, though, I could see them losing.
Like Nikola Jokic, my opinion about him is he is going to go down as one of the best big men ever of all time, no doubt. If he doesn't get healthy and keeps continuing,
of all time, best big of all time, one of the best bigs of all time,
one of the best, because he's going to completely transform.
I mean, I could see it maybe, but like that's a very
you think about,
dude.
That's a very strong statement.
It might be, but I'm here with this bull.
He's got the stats of a point guard.
Yes,
dude.
and this is what I love about Jokic is that he came into the league when it was transitioning from a forward and center heavy league to a guard league, and then it was dominated by guards, and out of nowhere Jokic comes and just is fucking destroying the league. Like, he is tearing it up on a nightly basis. Like,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I have him on my fantasy team, and he has the most points scored. Like, he's just going off. And I think it's really impressive because he came into a league that was so heavily dominated by guards. Like, heavily dominated.
I agree that he's one of the most dominant players right now, but I mean, saying he's going to be one of the best bigs ever is kind of a stretch.
I'm saying it right now. If he doesn't get injured,
if they were to go to like the finals and he's got to get close to a championship for me to even think about that for me.
I mean, they went to the Western Conference Finals last season.
No, see, to me, he's already changing the game with how he's expanding the role of a big man.
I agree, but
he's expanding the role of a big man. What big man has averaged 9 assists?
Yeah,
almost
I agree
9
with
assists.
I think you're right that he's changing the game, but I mean, I don't think he. In my opinion, I don't see him until he can prove to get close to a championship. I don't see that.
I mean, I think for him to get a championship in this league, he'll have to be paired up with somebody that's better than Jamal Murray.
I think
because Jamal Murray, as much as I like him and stuff, he's not like a top player in the top 20, not even 25 player in the league. And the way the league works right now, you got to team up with somebody that's at least in the top 30 of NBA players.
Imagine if
Jamal Murray isn't there.
Jokic matched up with Luka.
Exactly. Or if Jokic,
that'd be the dream.
Yeah. And I think honestly,
the dream team right there.
They're both pretty young. We could see it at some point, or we could see Jokic.
It might just not be on the Mavs,
dude. And we could even see I'm thinking would be a legendary pairing in the making would be like De'Aaron Fox and Jokic, or one of these young and upcoming players that is going to pair up with Jokic. And I think it's honestly it's inevitable. It's inevitably going to happen because of the way that the league is structured now. You have to pair up with somebody that's at least like, if you're a top 10 player in the league, most of them have a sidekick with them that is at least a top 30 player in the league. If you just look at how it is right now. The only team that's like the anomaly is like the Spurs, I guess. Yeah. But,
I mean, I don't think the Spurs are going to make it, though.
And I mean, the Sixers don't really have it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could say Ben Simmons is a top 30 player, maybe. But you have Embiid and Simmons. And
how do you feel about Ben Simmons, Adam?
Sixers have depth, though. Sixers are also one of those teams, they have depth.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, Clippers, you got Kawhi and Paul George. You got like up-and-coming duos like Trae Young and John Collins and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's, KP and Luka, same thing. Like, you are going to have a sidekick, and at some point, Jokic is going to get tired of carrying his team. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think unless Jamal Murray gets better, he's going to have to have another sidekick.
I don't mean to go off topic, but did you guys see the video of Kevin Love today in the game? He was inbounding the ball, and the ref passed it to him, and he just swatted it, and it went right to the other team, and they made a 3, and he just
an idiot.
He just walked like off the court.
Did he just like think the ref was just tossing the ball?
Yeah, like he's done with the Cavs, dude. It was just one of those where he just gave up, and he's like, "Fuck this shit, man."
I don't know if he's that like he's. I mean,
he's getting old. I think he's just. Still? Yeah, I think he's still good.
He's capable
of
like
putting
up good
veteran
numbers.
Yeah. He's got to be like a off the bench guy. If
I'd love him
like
on the
Lakers.
Mavs.
Yeah, I think
like say if he joins like the Lakers or somebody, he's gonna be coming off the bench.
I think he's gonna
want to join a
because he's not gonna go to somewhere that's not contending.
I don't know if his contract is.
He just signed. I think he signed.
Like look what Drummond just did. He's done with them too. I mean, nobody's gonna like choose to leave and go to like somewhere that's not contending.
Yeah. There's two. I think when you get late in your career like that, and you're like Kevin Love has been a good player for his whole career, right? There's
either
two
retire
options.
or you join a contender.
You join a contender, or you just settle for like, hey, I'm gonna go and make millions of dollars with this team and just be happy.
I think that's what he chose to do, and he's not happy with it. I mean, I think he wants to win.
Who wants to be on the Cavs right now?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, they have some good upcoming players. But
if it's possible to insert that video though,
we'll try to
put that in because it was.
Okay,
I
so
my ass off.
MVP talk. It's coming down between Jokic and Steph. Is that? Do you all agree?
I think that's the consensus. Yeah, if Steph,
I think it's gonna. I think it's most likely gonna be Jokic.
Yeah,
but Steph will have an argument.
I mean, if the Warriors keep winning and they make the playoffs,
I mean, isn't the MVP announced before the playoffs?
It's only solely based on the regular season, first of all. But I mean,
if the Warriors make the playoffs, I think he's a good argument. But I think Jokic
it is
will win.
announced after. I think it's announced after the playoffs begin.
Yeah.
So it does take into that
the playoffs don't factor into the.
Yeah. If they make the playoffs.
Yeah, if they make it, but the playoffs itself, like those games that are played, it doesn't factor.
Yeah.
Into,
So the playing games won't matter if they make it up to like being like a 7 seed. I could see it. I don't even know if they can make it up to be.
Something's going to have to happen with Jokic. I think if he stays the way he is right now through the rest of the season, there's no reason why he won't win it.
Yeah. So I guess we can transition into our spooky like conspiracy theory paranormal talk for this episode.
This is going to blow my mind.
We're going to have
I'm interested in
many talks about this in the future, like just stupid shit, like some of it's real, some of it's not. We can talk about.
We don't know if any of it's real.
We don't know if it's real.
Our ghost encounters, just conspiracy.
We can have like a conspiracy theory segment.
I'm down. I saw that. If anyone watches like Zane and Heath Unfiltered or whatever, they do like paranormal episodes and like little fun episodes and shit. So
before we do this, hold on. Before we do this, I'm gonna go refill my cup with some more Gatorade.
Okay. We can talk about one of like a really quick. We can talk about a conspiracy. I've talked about this before. Mattress firms.
Mattress firms.
They are laundering
don't make
money.
Any sense to me.
They're laundering money, bro. At in our hometown.
Yeah.
Right next to my house back home. There's that one. There's one on each side of the highway. Less than a mile from each other. What's the point in that?
Like you could drive there in less than a minute with no traffic.
There's a conspiracy that mattress firms are laundering money because if you go to any mattress firm, they're like less than like they're so close to each other They're like, there's like, how are they making money?
Every time I've been into a mattress firm,
like literally,
there's been nobody else inside. So like
it could be run by like the mafia or something, bro.
You go in, like it's never been busy. Like I've never had to like. I've bought one mattress and I've bought like a bed frame there.
Yeah.
When is a mattress store like busy though? Like they're
that's
not.
What I'm saying.
Like they don't make that much money.
Like I feel like they don't. I've never seen it like be. I've never had to wait in line
because literally
I've never had to do anything like that. It's just them helping me when I
like
go in
literally
there.
what made me like really think about it was because the ones back home are literally on like walking distance to each other.
And it's not like it's competing mattress places. No,
they're
it's
the exact same.
How often do you buy a mattress? Every 8-10 years?
8
probably.
to 10 years, yeah. And most people go longer than that.
Like probably most people don't even realize that they need to buy a new one every whatever years.
So how
are these people? How are these places making
how
money?
many mattress firms there are in
Literally,
this area.
go to back home and screenshot how close they are to each other.
We'll insert a screenshot of some of them.
Okay,
do it.
We're in a kind of a small town. There's only 2 here.
Oh, there's only 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back home and do it, and I'll insert this maps photo of how close these things are to each other because it's literally ridiculous. This might give away where we live, but it's fine.
I have never seen anybody inside.
We'll blur out some of the. Literally, there's 3. There's literally 3 in a like. Look at this, 3 in a like.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
1 mile radius.
Yeah, I can't.
Literally, I'm about to screenshot this.
That doesn't make any sense.
Literally insert it into this video, and you tell me what you think.
It's
because
it's the same fucking.
There's
company.
literally
and
one. There's 3 in a little like. There's like a town center.
Yeah.
And there's 1 on each side. There's 3 in that area. Like, what is going on? Like,
I don't know.
How are they making money? There's no way they're not laundering money, dude.
So you think they're storing the money in the mattresses?
I think that they're run by somebody else.
That's what one of the videos I saw.
Okay, so the reason why you would want to launder money from so basically you're taking dirty money.
They use it as a
disguise through the business. So you run it through the business, and now it's like clean.
Make it seem like you're making that much.
Yeah, they're run by like the mafia or like drug dealers or something. Like something. Who knows? But like they're
it would make sense
funneling
to me
dirty money through it to make it clean.
I've never seen anybody.
Dude, like
it's like that show, The Ozark or whatever.
It's
Ozark.
basic. It's basic like economics or whatever. Like you don't put your businesses that close to each other. There's no reason because you're just gonna lose money.
Even if they're just franchises, like who would open a franchise next to
like
right
it
next
blew my
to another?
mind. Go watch the video on YouTube. It's somewhere about how mattress firms are laundering money.
Was it that Shane Dawson?
Yeah,
it might have been.
There was a Shane Dawson.
I don't know exactly, but
There's
it's crazy. That conspiracy theory is nuts. Let's hear your conspiracy.
All right. I don't know what made me think of this. I was just chilling one day on my couch, not doing shit, and I just thought, how did they build the pyramids? Like, how was that? So, and I looked into it. There's like 80 pyramids sprawled around in that area. Mm-hmm. Each pyramid has about 2 million stones, like those massive bricks. Each brick weighs about 2 to 5 tons.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No. These are fucking heavy.
Wait, so they're not like.
You can't pick them up.
It's not a regular brick. It's not like you can pick it up.
This was 4,500 years ago. Yeah. So they didn't have wheels or anything. Nothing was invented.
Wheels.
No, they didn't.
They didn't have wheels?
They didn't have wheels. They didn't know how to make wheels back then.
I'm sure they had some sort of contraption that they like lifted these things with because like.
Dude,
but I know what Adam is.
No,
about
I
to
can
say.
understand why that's
what Adam
is
about to say.
I think there's no possible way, without extraterrestrial beings, for them to build the pyramids on their own.
And there's speculation
they had to have had help from something.
There's speculation that they like aliens or whoever came down and helped them build the pyramids, and that it was used as a way of like communicating with extraterrestrial beings. You know? And
that's nuts, dude. I didn't know that those bricks were that big though.
No,
I thought they were like you could like carry them with like 2 people.
They're massive.
Whoa.
Like and that's one of my goals. I honestly like the pyramids and Egyptian culture and everything. Like that's really interesting to me. So I've always wanted to go there. I got really interested into it when I played Assassin's Creed. They set one in Egypt, and I just fell in love with that game, and it really made me want to like go more in depth with like I learned a lot of like the history of it and everything. And Yeah, the pyramids are nuts because it doesn't make any
so
sense how they
weird.
would build it.
They
But
were-
there's
yeah.
a lot of things like that where you're just like, how do people that don't have the current day technology that we have today, how do they build some of the structures, or how
And-
did
yeah.
they, you know, in Egypt
That's
they even
crazy.
had irrigation systems.
Mhm.
So they would take water from the floodplains and stuff and like irrigate their crops, and it doesn't make any sense because
And,
they didn't have the proper
how tall are they?
technology.
So before the Eiffel Tower was built, the biggest pyramid was the largest man-made structure on Earth.
How tall? Do you know how tall it was?
So
It's
that was-
The
probably
biggest
like
one.
And the Eiffel
really
Tower was
tall.
built in like what, the 1800s, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, it was recently. The
Dude, I had
Eiffel
no
Tower
idea.
was built recently, so those must have been
I
the tallest
knew
structures.
none
for like a long
about
time.
this stuff, dude.
Yeah,
It's-
Eiffel Tower was built.
It's
fairly
177 feet tall, the biggest pyramid.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Um,
There was
Because
that
if you
one
think
YouTuber
about it,
that,
like
climbed
if
top
they
of that.
start at the bottom, like I feel like the bottom is easier to start, but like imagine
Yeah.
carrying those things
How
up
do
to
you
the
carry?
top.
Yeah, how do you carry a 5-ton or a 2-ton brick
All
or whatever
like that
up
high,
to the top
173
of-
feet high.
Yeah.
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's like
there's
carrying
no,
a whole ass elephant up to the
Exactly.
top of the pyramid.
Dude, that's
Without-
heavier than
without,
that.
Without like helicopter. I mean, I don't even know if a
No
helicopter
cranes
can
or
carry them.
shit.
No
They didn't
crane,
have anything.
helicopter, nothing like that.
Yo,
They can't. Like, it's not possible back like
that's
that
hurting my
far
brain.
back in time. You can't. No.
That's
But I
insane.
mean, you know, and we already have. I mean,
and there's
for
no way to
those-
prove anything because they didn't have any technology to
No,
prove
there's
anything.
and there's no plans or blueprints or
Yeah.
shit that anyone has discovered yet.
That's
And
nuts.
what's nuts to me is going back to aliens. Like, I think it's pretty clear that we got confirmation this year, like past in 2020.
Yeah.
We had the pandemic and everything, and there was a lot of big news to come out of last year. But the biggest news got swept right under the rug.
I know.
And that was
And
that aliens are fucking
The
real.
Pentagon confirmed
Yeah,
a
we-
UFO basically.
they
basically
well
confirmed.
they didn't say UFO, but
They
they
have
said
released
a
images,
object was
videos.
flying
Mhm.
in the atmosphere that they didn't know what it was.
And they've released thousands of documents now.
Mm.
And it's public knowledge, right? They
the government-
released it.
What?
They
What's that?
released it to like the public, right?
Yes. All these documents you can go and access online. It takes a long time to read them. I personally haven't, but literally, I haven't heard of one major news network cover this.
Yeah,
and
and
I
you-
think the reason is because there would be mass hysteria
Mm-hmm.
if people found out that aliens were legit, like real, that we have made contact with them, that we speak with them, which could be a possibility.
Yeah.
That our government is speaking with aliens. That, I mean, if people found out about that, and we already know what happened with coronavirus, with the unknown and uncertainty of all that, think about what would happen with
I have a
just
question.
all the mass hysteria of that.
Do you think if aliens are real, do you think that they would be a danger to Earth? Because if you think about like if they're real, if aliens are real, they probably already know about Earth, right?
If aliens
but they
can
haven't
get
done
here-
anything
yeah,
here.
if aliens
already.
can get here,
They probably, if they're real, they
we
know
don't
about
know
us
if they've
already.
done anything, you know.
I mean, they probably know that Earth is here, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If they can
No.
get to Earth, then they have
I
the
bet-
capability of destroying us.
I don't
Yes,
think-
but they
I don't-
haven't
yeah.
yet. They so like
I
who
don't
knows
think
if they would
know
do
that
it?
it's populated though. Honestly, like
That's
if they
true.
just, I don't think they've been like through like in the atmosphere, or, like gone through the atmosphere and
I mean, then
gone.
how would we have the videos and images of the?
I mean, but just
It's
because they're in the
not- they're not
atmosphere doesn't
objects.
mean that
Yeah,
they
they
know that
can't-
there's people here, right?
I guess so.
But
I think. I
they
mean,
could know, like if you're saying,
Yeah.
oh, the government's like
I don't know.
speaking with them or
I
talking
don't
with them
know.
or whatever. Like they haven't done anything. They haven't entered Earth or
Yeah.
whatever already. If they know that it's here, they haven't done anything. So like, if we find out about them, are they a danger to us?
see, in my
Yeah, I
opinion,
think they
my
are.
opinion would be.
You think
no.
they are?
I think they're a
You
danger.
You think that they would be a danger?
Because
I-
who knows what they would react if they come to Earth and they see us and
See,
they
my-
know what we can
my
do.
opinion
But like, I
is-
feel like they are in a different like, they have different technology and stuff going on that we don't know about, and like they could easily wipe us out. But like,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
haven't wiped
man.
us out already.
That's what that. See, in my opinion, I don't think they're a danger because, one, there could be systems in the like. Okay, if there is extraterrestrial life,
Yeah,
for
it's-
example,
What is that?
It's from the dishwasher.
Oh,
Yeah. If there is extraterrestrial life, for example, then in my opinion, there's probably a universal code of ethics and laws that these beings have and that they communicate with each other. Like, okay, if aliens if they're roaming around the solar system, for example, there's probably not just one other life form that's intelligent,
Dude,
right?
Like,
so if there's
about
multiple
how big
intelligent life
the
forms,
galaxy and like the solar system is, bro, like
if there's multiple intelligent life forms, then there has to be some sort of code of ethics, or like we have laws in our universe, in our world, and on Earth we have certain laws and stuff, and sometimes governments stray from those laws and tensions build and stuff, and I think the same sort of thing would happen within the universe. And so, what if, for example, we were a test project that the aliens put on Earth, or what if we were put on Earth?
I don't think that, because they would be here like checking on us or whatever. I don't think that happened.
If you want to get really deep with it, I have a question for Preston then, because I'm not a very religious person. For those who watch, I'm not religious. I don't really know where Adam stands anymore, but I know that Preston is really big in his faith, and we embrace that, and we
just as I embrace anybody else's religion.
We want everybody to have their own opinions, and
I think it's good to talk about different viewpoints and why you believe what you believe and all this stuff.
But so, do you think if like extraterrestrial life is confirmed and like is real, do you think that really like discounts religion? Because there's an argument that is basically like, because in the Christian faith, God would have put us on this earth for like a special purpose. Like, we are special beings. God created the earth for us and only us, and like it's a very special place to be. So if extraterrestrial life is confirmed, and that there's multiple of these like beings that have thoughts and like culture and all this stuff, do you think that kind of like downplays spirituality and religion and all this?
I mean, because I don't know. I think that like I never really believed. I mean, I don't believe it until I see it. Like, I mean, I still, unless I see a UFO and aliens come out onto
That's
Earth,
what I'm saying.
I don't
if
believe
that happened, what do you think would happen?
I don't know what I would do.
Purposes.
But like, I don't know if it necessarily discounts, because I believe that like whatever happens is for a reason, and like I believe what I believe is true, and it's like, I'm going to stand by that until something else proves that,
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. So
I don't know
sort of
necessarily.
like
I'm not really understanding or in-depth knowledge about what the Bible says about extraterrestrial things, or like other beings or whatever. But like, from my understanding, I will believe what I believe until something else
kind of alters that point of view
that will make me think of otherwise. Because right now I believe that there isn't anything out there. And that we would know it if, or if there is, like, there's a reason why we don't know about it or whatever. I don't know, but what I see is that if I don't see it, I don't believe it really. But so that's not like talking about like faith, because a lot of faith is based off stuff you don't see, right?
Yeah,
that's not the same thing that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
because like what I believe is that I believe that I've felt like the Holy Spirit, all that stuff. So like I've like felt that, known that. So like that's why I believe it. I've never seen an alien. I've never seen a UFO, all this stuff. So like I don't believe
feel
it.
the spiritual stuff.
Yeah. And you have a relationship, and you have physical writing and stuff in front of you that I believe is true. All this stuff, all this evidence that I know to be true. That's why I believe it. I had never seen an alien. If I see an alien, I believe in aliens. It might change
your perspective on.
Yeah. But until I see that, I won't change.
Yeah. I think that's, if I were spiritual or religious, I think that I'd probably take that same sort of stance, just being like, like it'll kind of just be a game time decision. Like it'll be like, if I see something and it alters the way of my perspective. I don't think that
seeing that would change my faith at all, or make me not believe in my faith anymore. I think, who are these people, and like there's a reason why they're here, and all this stuff.
It
so
might
it's
make
like
you question, but not necessarily change.
It might make me want to understand why they're here and what is going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's tricky. I'm not very knowledgeable about what the Bible says about that stuff. I need to. Maybe this is a sign to maybe look that up and figure that out so we can talk about it. But at the moment, that's how my stance on it is.
Adam, do you think like aliens are real? Like,
no, I for sure I do. Yeah. I don't think we're alone at all in this universe.
That's my opinion too. Just not being religious and everything. I like thinking about it more and more. There's no way that I'm so special that like that I'm the only intelligent, or that the human race.
It's definitely
is the
hard
only
to
intelligent
think
life.
that, like to think that we're the only people here. Like it's definitely hard to think that. But the way I see it is that if I don't see it, it's hard for me to like really believe it. But like if you like, I feel like anybody, if they think about that, like that, you know how big the solar system is, awesome. I think anybody would be like, oh, I'm wondering what else is out there.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like any like normal person would think that. But it's just different people probably think different ways.
The fact that we know how big the universe is, and we can't even see the 99% of the universe we can't even see because we don't have the technology or capability of doing so. Yeah, like it's so vast, so big. We don't even know what's inside of black holes. Like
just the fact that there's there's billions of other galaxies out there that we have we haven't done any research on because we don't have the technology yet for it.
That blows my mind.
That's why I think there's no possible way we're the only, conscious beings out there.
And that kind of ties into the fact of, I've struggled with this in my own life. Just, once I graduated high school and really just kind of, I felt like, I maybe become more of an adult or whatever it was. I've really struggled with, I forgot what it's called. Like desocializing, or what is it called? Disassociating. Yeah. Okay. So disassociating for me, maybe it looks different for other people, but it was like this feeling that like nothing matters, right? Where like you're going throughout your life and it's just like very monotonous or whatever, and you don't you feel like there's no purpose or whatever, and you have no drive to do things some days, and I struggled with that very early on in college and stuff. And disassociation, it's different for everybody, but for me it definitely was like, okay, like, why am I here? Does stuff really matter? And I think when you get thinking about how vast the universe is, it really just kind of stops your world, and you're just like, damn, maybe this little issue that I have going on in my life right now, or maybe even a major issue, you've had a death in the family, or whatever may happen to you in your life, you quickly realize that, one, there's probably other humans that have gone through way more than you, and have had to deal with way more hardships than you, because we're all very privileged and all that sort of stuff. So it gets you thinking about that. And then two, it's like, in the ultimate scheme of the universe, you want to leave your mark, but how big of a mark can you really leave? Because you can't.
We've talked.
I mean, if you think about it, who's the most influential person to ever live on this earth? It's probably, like
a lot
Jesus,
of people can have different
some
answers
of these like
for that.
Religious figures, and that's only been around for like 3,000 to 4,000 years of like recorded history. Like, think about what's happened before then. If there's been any intelligent life before then they've had their own impacts made on the universe, and then it just all got wiped out because we don't have any recorded history of it. And you just go down this rabbit hole of feeling like you're alone. You know?
No, we've talked about this before. Every time I get stressed out or anxious about something, or just, I'm just feeling down about anything, I just think to myself, everyone I know and myself will be dead in like 80 years. Yeah. And like, obviously
that's
stuff
real,
matters in our life, but at the same time, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Like
if I ever struggle with like, oh, are people going to judge me for doing this or whatever? That's immediately what I think about. And then I switch my mindset and I'm like, okay,
just be like,
you go ahead and be yourself.
Shit. Yeah.
I think do you think like it comes to a certain point in somebody's life where they get to that mindset though? Because I feel like in high school and when we're younger, like that's really not a lot of people think that way. Like it's very, like it's very like everyone thinks about what everyone's doing and they like judge everybody a lot, like especially in high school. Yeah. But like I feel like once people get to college, people really just realize that not care.
Yeah. What was that point for you? Because for me, it was, I really cared what people thought, and all throughout elementary, middle school, high school, I really feel like maybe I put up the front that I didn't care, but there was moments where I caught myself being an asshole for no reason. There was moments where I caught myself saying things that I shouldn't have said just because I wanted to look cool or whatever, or participating in things that were hurtful to other people that should have never happened just because I wanted to like hold up a certain image or whatever.
I think
for
it
myself.
comes down to the person, but like for me personally, I think it was college.
Yeah.
Definitely like midway through, or like even I feel like the start of sophomore year, because freshman year you still are like figuring everything out, and you're like, oh, I need to make an impression with all the, or if you're like at a school you don't know anybody, whatever. If you gotta like make an impression on people, it's very easy to care about what other people think. We were lucky that we were with people that are our friends that we knew already. We didn't have to impress, whatever.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that like once you're in college for a while, I mean, you kind of have to be in that situation because a lot of things are going on in your life where you gotta like be able to do things on your own, if it hurts other people or not. Like you gotta do whatever's best for you, because like especially now we're learning to like be on our own, be self-sufficient, do all these things, and you're not always gonna do something. Like we do things in our house that our roommates don't always agree with.
Yeah.
So it's like you're gradually gonna turn into that mindset of where you gotta do what you think is right, no matter who cares, even if it's your best friends. If you want to do it, you gotta do it without anybody caring.
The goofiest example to that, I think, was like, you know, high school and early college. Whenever we would go to a concert, and everybody would wear, all the guys would wear a jersey.
Yeah, that's.
And it's like,
oh damn, we stopped recording. Y'all can keep talking, but I'm gonna fix the camera.
Yeah, it's like, oh, who's got the best jersey?
Yeah,
bro?
who's got the best jersey? And it's like, that is honestly the least creative
even like
outfit I've ever like.
No,
witnessed.
yeah,
No, people-
I
people
do
still
agree.
wear that.
Wear a jersey.
No, people
Last
still
night-
do that.
or the other night when we were out at that place,
Yeah,
there were guys literally
Wearing
in
jerseys.
college that were wearing like,
they
they must have had a an event or something, because who, like, if you show up at a bar in college, you got to be a freshman if you're wearing that, because you don't understand that like nobody wants to see somebody in that.
That's true. No, I think the same thing. You know,
And I think
but
that
it's it's a process for a lot of people. I mean, I'm still going through it. You guys are going through it. We're all growing.
for sure.
At our age, we're slowly figuring it out. I mean, last year, I'm a completely different person than I was last year, for sure.
Hopefully,
Even like 6 months ago.
Because both of y'all
is.
actually didn't live here like last school year, actually like a
Yeah.
little over a year,
yeah,
like a year and a half ago, right?
yeah, that was
So-
like a big thing for me was, you know, like
I think-
transferring schools and knowing that what I was doing was good for my life, but accepting that, okay, there's going to be judgment from some people, or like, you know, just because I didn't really fit in with fraternity culture, that now, oh, am I going to be outcasted with all of the friends that were in the fraternity, or am I going to be outcasted within the culture that is like frat culture?
Do you think that
But
like being at
now-
a school that where you were kind of in a situation where you have to impress people, make new friends, and then coming to a school where like you only hung
Like
out with
already
guys
had
that
a
you
separate
knew
group, yeah.
from high school, that like you didn't have to impress or make new friends? You too, Adam, because you did the same thing.
Yeah.
Did y'all think that gave you kind of an advantage of being able to have that mindset of like, who cares? Because I think if you go from having to impress a bunch of people to like being in that stressful situation and like trying to figure that out, to coming to a situation where you can be yourself around your friends first, and then like people that you're meeting, because then you realize, you know, like nobody cares at all.
Yeah.
I think that might give you an advantage.
Yeah. Just
Maybe.
Just
I want to see how y'all
recently,
feel.
just recently, I started to realize that no one gives a shit about what you're doing. Like everyone's concerned about themselves.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks about you.
Yeah.
Just focus on because you're stuck with yourself for your whole life, and once you accept that, I mean, that's the key to being happy. Honestly,
I feel like you gotta be happy with what you're doing in yourself before you can be happy around other people. Because what's gonna happen? Like you can I did this definitely, like putting up a front around even your best friends that you're happy or whatever. But if you're not happy while you're in your room by yourself at night, on your computer doing homework, or on your phone at night, like you're not going to be happy any other place, right?
You have to love yourself before you're capable of like.
You got to love yourself
loving
before you
people
can love
in any
others.
kind of relationship.
Yeah.
In any kind of relationship, whether that's like friendship, you know, love life, whatever. I think you probably got to be able to love yourself, and that's something I've struggled with my whole entire life. So being able to finally say that I feel like I've accomplished that, and I'm just like comfortable with presenting myself to the world, and if the world likes me, that's great. If the world, you know, obviously people are going to reject me and like not like who I am.
But who
And
cares though?
That's
You
gotta get into that
care
mindset
about
of
it.
like
exactly. Now I feel like I'm in the mindset where
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck about those people. Those
Yeah.
people aren't the people I want in my life.
Yeah.
So if I'm always trying to impress people, it's like, who am I really trying to impress?
Yeah.
I only really care about the people that are going to support me anyway. So if the people that support me say, hey, like, you should have might have not done that action or done whatever, then I might actually listen. But to the people that are just like haters, or I know that they don't want to see me succeed, or they're not really important in my life, I don't really give a fuck. You know, if I meet someone for the first time and we just don't really vibe, I'm not really gonna like dwell on it because it just wasn't meant to be. If someone doesn't like the way they act when of a first impression or whatever, then I mean, I almost have the attitude where it's like, you know, you can fuck off. Like I don't care.
I think that people that try to bring like give so much energy to somebody else and bring them down, they have a lot more to worry about themselves than they are to give to that person,
definitely
right?
have a lot of insecurities about themselves that they're trying to mask.
We knew those people in high school, and it turned out, they actually.
I think that it definitely that like that transition from high school to college really can show like who the real people were and who the fake people were, because like once you don't see each other every day and like basically forced to see each other, I mean a lot of stuff can come out, right?
I think the coolest thing for me is like getting out of high school, not seeing these people every day, right? And then just randomly having someone like text you or hit you up or whatever, swipe up on your story or something, and you're just like, oh, this person still kind of cares about my life or whatever. And you knew that, hey, we were decent friends in high school, but it's cool to see them still wanting to be involved.
And you can also, on the opposite, see people that you like once you left high school, you never talk to them again. And like, oh, well, okay, I see how that was, because you will probably be like, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like, check up on them, but they don't always do it back.
It all comes down to who your true friends are, because you're not going to get along with everyone. There's going to be people that we don't
get along a lot of the times too. I mean, not always, but like, I know,
but that's different. Like you
guys
obviously
like,
have a good relationship.
You go back we can like, I feel like all of us can like hate each other 1 minute and then like be like back to like fine.
But it just comes down to the people that truly support you without anything else in mind. If it comes down to, you know, if they want to get something out of you.
Like I said, it was really cool seeing, like, I had like 3 people swipe up on the story that I posted of our first episode and said like, you know, I listened to a couple, even if it was just like a couple minutes, or like if they enjoyed the TikToks that we made, like promoting it or whatever. It was cool seeing who did, because I was like, damn, I would have never thought that this person cared enough to watch. Or I never thought this person cared enough to like even swipe up and just say like, hey man, like I support this. That was dope as fuck. I was, and then that makes me realize like, maybe I should like reach out to them or like be friends with them more, or, you know, and get rid of some of the people that
for sure,
you know, maybe weren't going to support or would judge and be like, oh, you're starting a podcast. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
That's what, there's definitely people out there that saw us promoting all this and were like, what the hell? Like,
they're these guys are so cringy.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't give a shit.
No,
like, who cares, man?
Like, this isn't like something that we're just trying to impress people.
This is.
I didn't post. We're not posting these to impress everybody from our high school or like old people that we never don't really interact with anymore. Like, we're not doing it for them, so it's like,
there's only a handful of people from high school that I still
and you got to keep that. I would like, people say this all the time, you got to keep your circle small, because you got to keep those real ones around, because if you keep a large circle, a lot of them are just going to piggyback off of you. So
and if you end up actually becoming successful and doing something cool, then
you want those guys that supported you when you were nothing.
People are,
you want those guys that were there with you when you were in the dirt, and now you're shining and doing all this great stuff, and now they're going to be appreciative and you're going to know that they're really true friends because they were there when you were.
For sure.
100%.
All right, well, we're at a good time to stop. This was another great episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
thank you for listening.
Our time for this one?
About 108.
108.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
That's a good amount of time. We only got like 4 to 5 good topics, but it was solid. We delved into stuff we didn't.
This was definitely a better a better take.
Second episode was way better.
Yep.
Let us, if anybody gets to this point in the podcast, like, just leave a comment on Instagram or the YouTube video and just let us know, like, different things you would want to hear us talk about and stuff.
Your favorite candy. If you got to this point, comment your favorite candy bar.
That's
you know who the real ones are.
Point,
yeah, you're a real one if you got to this point.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We will see y'all next episode. Take care.
Peace out.
See you guys.